Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. The Rumble is going. YouTube is going. Twitch is going. Twitter is going. I need to activate my chat windows. There we go, that's going. Now I need to activate the, whatchamacallit, my macros I like to use to help move around the turns. Get my microphone better in place. Macros. Why are you not popping open? There they are. There we go. And I think everything is good. Give me another moment to check my other computer, make sure everything's good over there. Oh, wait. When did the pop-up... I saw the terrain pop-up down there. When does it do that? I think I'm just going crazy. Something I could do as well, expand this a little bit. Look, it did pop up down there, and then it didn't. What causes... Okay, now I'm just going crazy. Give me another moment to check my other computer. And looks like I can see my live streams on the other computer, so let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the north side as the Brown Desert. Yep, Brown Desert Von Bolt, we got G Duma. So on the south side as the Blue Moon Drake, we got Arc Deva. This appears to be a lab map. Both players start off one lab. Both players start off one base, so they actually just... Let's see, it says 2 properties. 2,000 income. Wait, do labs provide income? I don't think labs provide income. Where's the other property that provides income then? I guess labs do provide income. I don't know why, I didn't think labs provide income. By the way, there's also 2 neutral bases here. That's a bit of a slow start, so this is a strong side, but it is a bit of a slower start. We do have an airport in the middle on a little peninsula, and a comm tower way down here, which takes a significant amount of time to clear out. You probably have to build a battle copter or maybe station artillery piece there. Then you have to get a T-copter and transport it there. There is a harbor here which could be utilized, but probably not so much. Don't think it would. Let's see, what else is there? And yeah, that's pretty much it. A decent number of shores there, which means the max mobility. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Just early capturing phase. I suppose I should mention what each CO does. Drake is the naval specialist. All naval units gain +1 movement range and 10% defense. Not really important. And his air units get 30% less firepower, which is quite significant. Von Bolt just gets +10/+10 effectiveness. We do have a Von Bolt tank deployed in the field. Drake's tanks are completely and utterly ordinary, which is perfectly fine. And the more I look at this map, there's only these 2. Wait, what? Oh, it's high. I missed the part that this map is a high funds game. It also does a... That's why the Neotech threw me off. That's why I said 2,000 income. Because it wasn't 2 properties, it was just one property provides 2,000 income. Okay, this is high funds. High funds. Whoops. That Neotech really pulled through me for a loop because, like, wait, how on earth do you afford Neotech this early? It's because it's high funds, because I am brain dead. We have an artillery piece here, which maybe... It's the strong side. Maybe not a great idea to go for the artillery piece there. More tanks may be good, just to help overwhelm this region. But of course, got this Neo tank push way forward. I think a medium tank on the weak side wouldn't be half bad, since medium tanks and Neo tanks are the difference in their firepower and defense not too significant, at least in defense wise. So getting good first strike with a medium tank would be maybe a little bit more cost effective, as you don't really want to push forward all too much as well. But we got double artillery by Von Bolt. I disagree with the artillery on their side. I think it's just more mobile tank forces, be tank, light tank, regular tanks, and Neo tanks would be great. Maybe even recons. But he has pulled out a Neo tank here to counter out the Neo tank. I think a medium tank can be adequate. Yeah, a couple strikes there, interrupts the capture. Fully picks off that unit, artillery piece here, and he is going for double artillery. So both these players are fan of double artillery on that side. Maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe it's just I don't play Advanced Wars by web. It's one of those things I've been getting in the habit of not playing the games to cast because I tend to get overly critical. And I know, say, games like Company Heroes 2, like back of my hands, on a mod maker for that game. Good first strike there, but the retaliation will be successful. And then, of course, there's still one more tank in reserve to get retaliation strike on it, but both these tanks can just play around the artillery piece. I don't think charging forward like this was a good idea. This Neo tank isn't ready. This Neo tank does have the support for artillery piece, but excuse me. Let me just pull this up here. Or attacker this. I suppose it is a decent bit of damage, but nothing over massive, I would say. Definitely make the artillery pace for itself, that's for sure. It will be on force as well, and now has one less health, so I'm curious. 3 points of damage, so not bad, but not fantastic. Does not finish off the tank there. Decided to put some more rounds into a infantry unit there. And now there's 3 Neo tanks by Von Bolt up here, and of course Drake has 1 and what's left of 1. Drake is pretty close to a tsunami, but probably best just save up for some typhoons. Another Neo tank there, and artillery piece. And we got triple artillery here by Von Bolt. Trying to get to the airport. Von Bolt's airports would be perfectly fine. Drake's, without a comm tower, may just want to avoid pulling out even battle copters. We do now have a tsunami now available, which could be useful. Yeah, wait a second. Did Drake not take a shot against that Neo tank last turn? Must have not. Now we got a 4th Neo tank over here. Does flip a property. Now both players at 32. This is Global League, so don't have to worry about reduced times. Or a timer, I should say. Oh, didn't even get a single point of damage there. And now a Typhoon is available. I think he should deploy on the field. Probably should have deployed it and then machine gun it down, because it would be guaranteed at 1% health rather than at 1 health. Now got another tank and Neo tank, and got 6,000. Another artillery piece there. So both these players do like the artillery. Of course, now we do have rain on the field. And now the Von Bolt artillery just fires away, picks off those 2 tanks. Von Bolt's pretty close to his Ex Machina, which will likely strike the Neo tanks. Another Neo tank there. And we have a Drake bomber. I wonder. Let's see. Drake bomber versus a Neo tank on open plains. 50% damage. If we were to invert it. Let's see. I'll worry about inverting later, but that will do 50% damage to a Neo-Tank on open plains. No, it is decent, but not too fantastic. Good strike there. Takes out one of the Von Bolton Neo-Tanks, but he does have Neo-Tanks in reserve. Artillery pieces push way forward, but not ranging anything at the moment. We could see Ex Machina this turn. An Ex Machina would likely strike around here. Oops. Yeah, I think it would strike right there. Ex Machina is now available. I'm guessing it could strike double Neo-Tank. Let's figure out where it goes. Does strike the double Neo-Tank. If he could have manipulated to hit this group of forces, if he would have took time to destroy this Neo-Tank. We got double anti-air there to ward away the bomber, as well as an artillery piece. He does have 100 or 14,000 reserve, and also has 42,000 in the bank. He can pump out a lot of good amount of stuff with this little bit of reserve there. Okay, first, the bomber is striking the pipe seam, and there is the T-copter for said pipe seam. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. A bomber is still a bomber, even if it's a Drake bomber. Getting some good strikes there. And of course, there is this mountain right here to help him play around with the artillery pieces. The more intraversable terrain, the better the indirect fire tends to do. And do now have a Tsunami now available. Goes for a fighter. Maybe a little bit overkill versus a Drake bomber. I don't rate Drake's aircraft all too well. I'm probably underestimating them, but I feel somewhat justified. Good strike there on that Neo-Tank. He could merge the two Neo-Tanks together. Of course, extra bodies never hurt. Got double Neo-Tank blow up by Drake. One thing he could do is also stabilize this region is to blow up Battleship and basically be bulletproof with plus 10% defense and of course 3 defense stars. Bomber heading down south, all he needs to worry about is a single anti-air, which is easy for it to play around with. And now we've got a Von Bolt bomber on the field, which will probably warrant a bit of a larger anti-air response from Drake. Tank infantry. Anti-air artillery piece. Bombo does have a pretty nice line of artillery there. Bomber heading down south. We do also have a Drake, a fighter, so he is responding quite significantly. Artillery. It's still 24,000, so we could go for bomber infantry, or maybe just another Neo-Tank here. Another Neo-Tank. Battlecopter. Give me a moment, I need to put my drink on my other hand so I can take a drink while moving the birds. Teacup heading down south. Looks like this infantry unit is probably going to just be abandoned there. Vombo has not even attempted to capture this comm tower, so they have a similar inherent firepower, plus 10% for the comm tower, plus 10% for just day-to-day. Another Neo-Tank artillery piece and artillery piece. so many artillery pieces. And now to have a Typhoon now available, Melee pops it, calling quite a bit of forces for Von Bolt at 118,000 versus Drake's now 127. Bomber does connect with an artillery piece there, but somehow even a wounded one from the Typhoon, a Drake bomber could not take out a artillery piece. I'm curious about that. Was that just bad luck? It was a 50-50 coin flip. While if you were to invert it, say click on Von Bolt's bomber, who currently has 8 health, versus a Drake artillery piece, and let's just match it. Yeah, 83% at 8 health, and we'll just put it on a planes. That minus 30% firepower does hurt, or make it less hurtful. Mega tank over here. Neo tank finished off that Neo tank. Takes out the infantry unit there. Good strike on the fighter. Now Von Bolt's fighter could take it out, but probably should focus on the bomber. Good strike there. Anti-air will finish off. Very nice. Also, this battlecopter will not be taken out though. Bomber gets a good strike there. When the artillery pieces do get hit, these other 2 artillery pieces in range, but there's just so many Von Bolt Neo tanks there. Another Neo tank and more artillery. How many artillery pieces does Von Bolt even have? He has 11 artillery pieces versus 6 of Drake's. Ex Machina is now available. A lot of good targets there. Or very likely, right now, it will definitely strike the Mega Tank among. It will strike right here if nothing gets moved down there. Lots of units getting picked off there. The Ex Machina will highly likely strike right here. Though right over here, it's going to strike over here. It will likely... Can Ex Machina hit friendly units? I have a feeling it's going to hit right over here. Let's find out. Let's find out. Is he saving it? Ah, it was going to strike over there. He just pulled back some things there, so it will... I think it will calculate how much damage value you will lose if you get hit by your own strike as well. Well, this entire flank is basically locked down. We have another fighter down here. It does throw the 8 health fighter and the 5 health fighter. Neo tank is a good strike onto these artillery pieces. This is a basic clean sweep, but the Mega tank will still pose a threat to all the Neo tanks. And now a Typhoon is available. Infantry and double Neo tank. Von Bolt ends turn of 142,000. Drake has 135 remaining, so he has down by 100,000 value, barring day to day. Currently has 51,000 of bank, and this Typhoon will call at least 10 or 20% of its opponent's value. It called 60,000 funds, so it's closer to 25%. Takes out that one unit. Tries to go for the lab catcher. There's only one lab per site. It's effectively an HQ with less defense and no income. Takes out the fighter there, and Vulnerable's not getting any power charge from this Typhoon, or from this turn. Looks like Vulnerable will need to machine gun the transport copter in order so he can interrupt the capture. Takes out there, interrupts the capture. Neotank's starting to fall back. Not much to do versus a Mega Tank. If it wasn't Battle Copter, I thought we were going to see a Bomber to help deal with a Mega Tank. Gets a good strike there on the anti-air, and anti-air will go down. Fighter moving around. Got a bomber, tank, artillery. So Vulnerable probably needs to both get out a fighter and a bomber. Wait, that's a rocket. Well, he has to pull out a rocket. This is the weak side. Indirect fire do work better on the weak side. Problem is, this will be harder to produce stuff to support the rocket. Another bomber, anti-air, infantry. Takes out that one tank there. Tank goes down, fire just over here. Put some rounds in the artillery piece. It's on the property, so we'll get healed on up. Neotank's pretty much out of range, but on that 1 health, soon be 3 health artillery piece. Battlecopter and Neotank infantry tank. Good artillery strikes there. Looks like he was able to wooden chop that pipe seam. Goes for a T-copter. Does not have infantry unit nearby to immediately load up the T-copter. Regular tank. Good number of Neotanks still on the right flank. Got a pair of artillery pieces here still. Infantry unit does go down there. Bomber moving around. Takes out that infantry or tank unit there. We'll maybe see a bit of fire from this artillery piece, but it's now down to 4 health. And the Mega Tank is trying to strike this Neotank. Neotank gets finished off. Great strike there. Mega Tank is in range of the artillery piece. Infantry, and of course a battlecopter. Bomber is in range of this Neotank. As well as this Neotank. Almost one-shots it. Finished off the 4 health artillery piece. Rocket to strike the Mega Tank. Neotank on Neotank. Throw some rounds there on that Mega Tank. Mega Tank does manage to go down. Another Typhoon's now available. And looks like Vulnerable is going to just charge for their artillery piece, trying to overrun the region. There's not enough units there to even just shoot all the artillery pieces. So this may be a successful overrun by Vulnerable. And looks like Vulnerable is going to try to close the game sooner rather than later. He has in turn of 269. Drake starts turn of 200,000. But he's likely to get around 60,000 value cold off the map. Pretty close. Closer to 50,000, but still. Ex Machina is now available. And currently right now, I think Ex Machina will strike both these Neotanks. Put some rounds in that rocket there. Bomber staying back. T-copter does drop off that unit there. Oh, there's Ex Machina. And it looks like they didn't strike the double Neo-Tank, it struck the Neo-Tank bomber and artillery piece. Which makes sense. After all, bomber and Neo-Tank are same value. So I'm gonna merge up some of those artillery pieces there. Good strikes there. Finish off the outlying units there. Rock on top of the city there. Another Neo-Tank on the right flank. Anti-air tank. And the fighter moving around to the left flank. Takes out the artillery piece there. It looks like Von Bolt's charge with the artillery pieces were largely unsuccessful. Another Drake Neo-Tank on the left flank. Do have a medium tank on the right flank. Takes up both those battle copters. Nice little merge there on the artillery piece. Neo-Tanks just trying to find more cover. Some of them getting repaired on up. Got bomber this region. Another artillery piece, infantry. And Von Bolt should get his column tower next turn. Another Neo-Tank, anti-air, and artillery piece. The bombers rotating over the left flank as well. Neo-Tanks push their way forward. Bomb bolts, artillery, or bomber heading down south. Let's take out that infantry unit there. Finish off that one health fighter. And use that one health artillery piece to just provide a bit of a wall there. Neo-Tank push way forward, gets a good strike there on the artillery piece. Gains some good kills there. Good strike on that Neo-Tank. Anti-air strikes the artillery piece there, takes it out. And a handful of these units are being picked on off. Got double Neo or triple Neo-Tank over here. And Von Bolt does not have anything to really stop him. Plus the wounded bomber is advancing way forward as well. Another anti-air deployed down south. These Neo-Tanks push forward. Von Bolt has a pretty good presence, but Drake does have a decent amount of forces here as well. 2 anti-airs help deal with that one bomber, and Von Bolt has a second bomber over here. Just striking out some outlying units there. Anti-air takes out the Von Bolt or the Drake bomber. So that Neo-Tank, and we do have now another Typhoon available. And good strikes here by these Neo-Tanks. But of course, with the Typhoon there, it'll blunt the assault a little bit. And we even bring the fighter over here for some more escort. Another battlecopter, another Neo-Tank artillery and infantry. And now here comes the rain. Heavy rain. Which is not composed of heavy water. And of course, the next Machina is now available. Very likely strike. It could strike both these Neo-Tanks over here. Yeah, will likely strike triple Neo-Tank. If it would probably land right here, striking all 3 of those Neo-Tanks into anti-air. I don't. Yeah, it would definitely strike right on top of this Neo-Tank. Now, another pair of Neo-Tanks blowing field. T-Copter. And an infantry unit. I have a feeling it's going to strike right here. I'll be surprised if it strikes over here. Yep, just what I thought. And that'll lock down that advance, also effectively giving him a double turn so he can position his artillery in place. The next turn he can just fire away. Takes out some of these units there. Looks like the Indian will get a good strike there. More artillery pieces on the field, and he has brought back the fire to get not only got healed up, but also refueled. Bomber will go down. Looks like Drake will be picking up that one infantry unit there. Mega tank, rocket, and tank. Oh, what was that? Ah, it was that over there. I was looking at the right side of the map. Neo tank does get a good strike there, along with the rocket. More artillery pieces pushing along the left flank. Gets a good shot there on the infantry unit. Neo tank heading out down the city. Another Neo tank artillery and anti-air. Rocket straight forward with a mega tank. Fighter takes out that T-copter. Good strike there onto that rocket. Tsunami is available. Another Neo tank, infantry, anti-air. Rocket falls back, takes out the battlecopter there. And Neo tank is a good striker there on the anti-air. Fighter on fighter. Takes the medium tank, guns down the artillery piece, takes out the infantry unit there. Takes out that unit there. Takes out that Neo tank entirely, giving him another Typhoon available. They'll be able to spin out those Typhoons faster than Ex Machina's. 126,000 cost versus 162. And there is the Tsunami. Nice little clean sweep along the right side of the map. He only has this Neo tank. He's probably going to send the bomber down here. Got triple artillery still here. Von Bolt's out 130, 112 value on the field. 108 value on the field versus Drake's 186. Plus he still has day-to-day spending. So Drake will be ahead by a significant amount at the end of his turn. Von Bolt could get his Ex Machina out this turn. Be a little bit difficult. Good strikes there. Takes out that fighter. Bomber heading down south. Got another Neo tank or artillery piece of infantry. Give me one moment. Right now I'm having trouble staying awake. I haven't been getting much sleep lately, so I'm just going to open up an energy drink. That'll hopefully wake me up a little bit. Infantry capturing at the center part of the map, takes the artillery piece there. Neo tank straight forward. Does pull back some of these units there. Got a lot of artillery pieces there, so it needs a lot of mobile forces to help arrange them quickly enough. Mega tank slowly pushes way forward. This fighter, I have a feeling that it's a 50% chance he will end his turn on top of the airport to get not only healed up, but refueled. It's down to 28 fuel, so without an APC in the field, he will crash relatively soon. Good strike there on the tank. Closes on in, take out a number of those units. Does waits on top of the airport. He still has 40,000 in the bank, so he could go for his own another mega tank, or go for a mega tank, or maybe just go for Neo. Right here, tank. Battlecopter heading up north. Another battlecopter hits that artillery piece. Medium or Neo tank battlecopter double infantry. The Vulnerable starts to turn 37,000 to bank, so he must got a lot of repairs going. He's at 44,000. Drake's at 48. He starts to turn 209. Drake's at 275. So Drake has a pretty nice little advantage. He's able to pop his superpower far more often, which is generally probably a bit more effective. Ex Machina is now available. Probably lands right around here. Let's see where it goes. Yep, it landed right here. Or... yeah, it had to land right there. Looks like it does not do friendly fire. That's good to know. A lot of times, like the Rachel missile silos does do friendly fire damage. So I never know what does friendly fire damage, what's not. So it looks like Ex Machina does not do friendly fire. Oh, that's another spot where it would land, like right here. Okay, it landed right here. That can also reach everything there. Bomber gets knocked out. Gets good damage there. This, oh, regular tank's down to 15 fuel. That's impressive. Gets a good shot there on the artillery piece. Finished off with the, or does not finish off with the battlecopter. I forgot how bad Drake's battlecopters are. And right now, Drake has a massive number of Neo tanks over here as well. Able to close the difference on those artillery pieces, that's for sure. Goes for another mega tank, goes for a regular tank and an infantry unit. Takes out that battlecopter with a fighter. Mega tank gets knocked out. A tsunami is now available. 108,000 costs, while this costs 138. Got another rocket now deployed in the field by Von Bolt. Does get some good strikes there. If your unit does get wounded a little bit, gets another strike there, interrupting multiple captures. Let's go to that Von Bolt trying to go with these captures. And manage to squeeze out a tsunami or typhoon there. Able to get another round of global damage, leaving Von Bolt 169,000 versus 218. Managed to gun down that Neo tank. Battlecopter, tank, Neo tank, anti-air. Von Bolt's still pretty far away from getting his next superpower. Takes out that battlecopter. Finish off some of these outlying units there. Neo tank on Neo tank, very nice. Let's get some good valley damage there. This rocket is at some health, so we'll get a retaliation shot. Neo tank infantry artillery piece. Fighter does take a pretty good hit there. Fire's also pretty low in fuel as well. Right now down to 30 fuel. Good strike on that Neo tank. Losing a very good position right now. Von Bolt is starting to fall pretty far behind. Mega tank, anti-air to regular tank. Fighter gets a good strike on the battlecopter. Fighter is down to 16 fuel. It may not have enough to get back to the airport now. After all, what, burns 5 fuel per turn? To be at 11. And of course, yeah, that will be a reach. It's more than one turn away. So it looks like the fighter will run out of fuel relatively soon. tank, infantry, and of course does go for another bomber. Not really necessary to take out that fighter, as I mentioned beforehand. He is going to run out of fuel very soon. All that did was just donate some power charge. Another rocket, another bomber, anti-air, and infantry. Takes out that anti-air and does take a shot against the mega tank. Bomber gets a good strike there onto the Neo tank. It does finish off. Ex Machina is now available. I think it will land around here. Probably right there. Oh nope, I was completely off. Double Neo tank and bomber. And that also could allow Von Bolt to push pretty aggressively forward. Another Neo tank, anti-air, battlecopter, and infantry. Bomber does go down, does pop a tsunami. Doesn't create rain, but one bit of global damage never hurts. Plus also drains off all the fuel. Let's see. Next tsunami will cost 163. Another Neo tank, and infantry. What's the infantry unit there? Drake still has a small income advantage. Enter for 276. Von Bolt starts the turn with 173. Of course, that's his day to day. But he's falling pretty far behind. But it's right now been pretty stable at that behind rate. Mega tank almost goes down. Another Neo tank up here. And your artillery as well. Takes the battlecopter, strikes some of these other outlying ground units. Great first strike there. And some of these rockets are getting hit pretty hard. And now this artillery force is starting to go on down. He doesn't have anything to really stop this force. He's hit this Neo tank, and of course he will need to move the one health artillery piece away so he can get the anti-air to hit that bomber. It's not looking good for Von Bolt, that's for sure. Neo tank, infantry, regular tank. Great strike there. Takes out that mega tank entirely. And we do have a battleship deployed up by Von Bolt. He must be getting pretty desperate if he's trying to deploy out a defensive battleship. Starting to get a lot of good ground in the center of the map. Tank, infantry, tank. Picks up the last of Von Bolt's rockets. Does base block the airport. The battleship can do some good damage there. We may see a Typhoon this turn. We may see an Ex Machina next turn. Very likely we'll see an Ex Machina this turn. But I don't think there's a possibility we won't see the Typhoon. At 154 out of 160. Yep, no Typhoon this turn. But we're very likely to see an Ex Machina next turn. Which will very likely strike somewhere up here. And Ex Machina is now available. Okay, it lands over here. Hits both rockets and the Neo tank. Gonna saw some of these outlying forces. Good strike there. Another tsunami is available. Neo tank here. I think it would have been better to go for Mega tank, but I think he's out of money. Oh no, he has plenty of money. Megatank will help him stabilize this region against all these vehicles. Anti-air, anti-air. Probably should go, yep, does go for Tsunami there. Good strikes on that battleship, putting it down to 3 health. Does get a good strike there. More bombers been blown field. Tank, infantry, infantry. Bomb bolt starts to turn 115,000 with 36,000 in the bank. Drake ends the turn of 195,000 with 11,000 in the bank. Takes out some of those outlying units. Good strike on the anti-air and gets off so of his opponent's airport. Of course, it's still being camped by this anti-air. Try and flip some properties now. They have equal income at the moment. Takes out that Neo tank. A lot of this stuff starting to run low on ammo. The Meg tank is out of ammo, so it'd be a good idea to charge it with his own Neo tanks. Battleship takes out that Neo tank. Good strike there, and finish off the Mega tank entirely. Machine guns the transport copter a little bit. Now another Neo tank, anti-air. And regular tank on the field. Artillery piece does go down. Neo tank, anti-air, T-copter, and regular tank. You have a slight economic advantage in favor of Drake. Once again, takes out the T-copter, no problem. Even takes time to shoot up a tank there, does not take it out. Another anti-air deployed on the field. Rocket push way forward, gets on top of this city there. Bomber is moving around, T-copter moving along the right side, and maybe infantry unit blowing out there next turn, or this turn. Battlecopter, tank, Neo tank infantry. Drake has a 273,000 in the field. Fombo starts turn with 192, with of course his 41,000 in the bank. Takes out the bomber there. Next Typhoon's 176. The Ex Machina's 216. As game starts going on and on, the costs will start even out when it comes to these superpowers. Get some good strikes there. Bomber, anti-air infantry, and tank. So a good number of artillery pieces up here. It does have 2 anti-airs as well. Trying to flip that one property again. Neo tank looks out of range of the artillery pieces. Got another Neo tank, and battleship did move forward. Is at full health. Battle cup there. Got another infantry unit up there as well. Tank. It looks like Blue just massing up some forces over here. infantry, tank, fighter, and anti-air. Bombbolt does have a fighter here as well. Those are both sides setting up for a massive conflict. Bomber does get a good strike there, as well as right there. Takes out that one bomber. Typhoon could not be brought on in. Not Typhoon, Tsunami. This one time could be worth it. Making some great headway. Takes out a good number of assets on the field. Neo tank, battlecopter, and anti-air. Takes out that one Neo tank. Neo tank on Neo tank. Does manage to squeeze out another Tsunami. Now, do you have Ex Machina available? Hide land somewhere around here. Highly likely. I think it will land right here to hit the fighter, the Neo tank, and the bomber. Though striking here, maybe here. There are two rockets, a Neo tank, and a bomber. It's hard to say exactly where it will land. There's a lot of good targets for it. Mega tank, anti-air, and tank. Not going for any shots just yet. Maybe does bring in the Ex Machina there. So I'll land it right here. Takes the battlecopter. Clean off the anti-air may have manipulated just enough. Neo tank, infantry. Drake starts the turn 270,000 on the field. Bombo ends the turn 179. Drake still has a massive advantage. Takes out that fighter. And the battlecopter as well. Finish off some of these outlying forces. A lot of stuff is in range of the battleship. Bomber, tank, anti-air, infantry. Starting to flip that property there. Battleship gets a good shot there. Battlecopter hits a battlecopter. Another fighter put on the field by Von Bolt. The other pieces just pushing their way, creeping their way forward. Does take out some of these outlying forces there. Another anti-air here. Tank, infantry. Neo tank getting hit pretty hard there. Does go down. Yeah, the Neo tank is getting shot up quite a bit there. And I think Von Bolt just starting to disintegrate on the right flank. Left flank, Von Bolt does have a decent force here, but that's just a lot of things help project and engage over there as well. Can't range in those artillery pieces, but can at least creep forward. Oh, looks like he was in movement range. Anti-air, mega tank, and regular tank. Does not take out the anti-air there. Did a good job start cleaning up the left flank. His right flank is completely collapsed and needs to pull out probably some mega tanks. Get some decent damage there. There's a mega tank, anti-air, and artillery piece. Takes out that one unit there. Our rocket pushes way forward. Does good strike there. Takes out the battlecopter. Good free strike there. Takes out the fighter entirely. Even puts a shot into the battleship, but will be healed up to full. So will cost a bit of fundings. infantry, and battleship. And Von Bolt has resigned. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I need to take a moment to blow my nose. I'll be right back. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see now. Just start from the bottom. Oh wait. This replay is... Wait, here we go. Ow! Oh, sound bugs. Let's refresh. Heard a bit of a sound bug there. Let me just refresh once more. Okay, there we go. I wonder if sometimes restarting it helps out. Alright. Hopefully it works fine. Let me just adjust this screen size. While I squeeze out, that should be good enough. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on bottom left side, or bottom right side, or just bottom side is the Blue Moon Eagle. We got Muji 6. Bottom north side is the Yellow Comet Olaf. We got just Olam. This map does have a recon, the opponent's recon at the corner of the map, which you can take out for artillery piece from on top of the city. Or you can cheap out and just go for a mech to go right there. This map, of course, is Fog of War. I do see a pair of counters here. Got a decent number of harbors on the field. I'm meant to refuel the various naval units. Both players do start with a black boat on top of the HQ. Both players do have two bases on one side, one base on the other side, with an airport to support out. You can go either direction. This map has the possibility of going for pipe runners. This is the weak side. And pipe runners along this pipe seam can, well, get some decent range over here. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Eagle does get plus 50% attack and 10% defense on his aircraft, while Olaf does just get unaffected by snow. One thing Olaf could do, if he wants to make sure Eagle does not pop a lightning strike, he can always pop out a blizzard to basically slow down his opponent's lightning strike. We have an early recon put out by Olaf up north. Eagle's just going for standard infantry play. Push forward the black boat from the HQ. Yellow just drops off the infantry unit right there. Recon heading down the shore. Shore is effectively no different than roads in, I think, every single situation, barring ships. So this recon will interrupt this advance here. Eagle does spot the recon there, so you could probably pack up and run away. Because right now this recon has vision of everything. He could try moving towards his forest if he so chooses. Does go ahead and pack on up and get on out of there. And I do have an Olaf artillery piece up here. I wonder if it's going to take out this recon, or those going to be taking out this pipe seam. This is an HQ map. You see the HQ is here. Just ignore the lab maps. They're effectively just owned property for 3 stars. And Olaf's recon has been hyper aggressive. Got this artillery piece creeping his way forward. Or it looks like he'll be trying to hit this recon down here, but he does not have vision of it. So he needs a spotter. And I don't think that anything nearby can spot it unless he wants to use his tank to spot, which is not great. Starting to siege down this pipe seam now, so this may be a bit of an oversight here by Eagle. I'm assuming that artillery piece didn't come from right there. Wasn't really paying attention to it exactly. Infantry here. I do have a mech here. Maybe just meant for spotting against the recon. He can push forward the artillery piece, strike there, and then he could finish off the mech if he so chooses. Keep an eye on this. Oh, spawns the recon for spotting there, then allowed the artillery piece to get a good shot there. I wonder if that was intentional or not. He is taking out this pipe seam as well with this artillery piece as well. So got a decent amount of artillery pieces blown out by Eagle. Mech does actually take time to put a shot onto that recon. That's interesting. It can finish off next turn and then infantry unit head down south. And maybe a good idea for Eagle just to fire onto the mech just to get a bit more damage there. Or he could let the mech take out the recon there to get a little bit more power charge. Both are equally effective. This recon that has been charged down the shorelines now on top of this forest there and ready to cause more issues. Of course, with this pipe seam now destroyed, units will easily more advance this direction, but this can still get a unit trapped or two. We have a battle copter pulled up by Eagle, very nice. There's another round of the under the pipe seam. This pipe seam's about to go down this turn as well. Takes out that unit, and we'll start catching up with the infantry unit. Recon decides to pull off the force. It's good to strike there onto the pipe seam now. Tank there. And now we've got another battlecopter as well, so Eagle's starting to really produce out the battlecopters. Olaf only has one anti-air. He probably should get anti-air on both sides, and going for his own battlecopters to help engage his opponent's battlecopters as well. Mech heading back down. Does get trapped there. Fires around with the infantry unit. Recon does charge way back up north. Pipe seam will go down next turn. Tank anti-air infantry, so we've got double anti-air over here. Another strike onto this pipe seam. Recon providing some good spotting. As mentioned beforehand, this area is not bad for a pipe runner. Of course, destroying the pipe seam means no chance of possibility of a pipe runner. The pipe runner would provide excellent coverage all across of here and enable to strike both aircraft and ground targets. Let's get a strike on that unit there. And the black boat is parked right next to the artillery piece, probably just trying to interrupt this movement. Gets a good strike there, but that artillery piece will be in range of that infantry unit. And now we do have a Neo tank deployed by Olaf. Not too much power charge for both players. This game has been quite uneventful, at least in combat-wise. But it's starting to ramp up now. Some good strikes on these various units. Picks off the infantry in there. In range of the artillery piece if it gets spotting. And use the infantry unit to take on the infantry onto this infantry unit there rather than use artillery piece. I wonder if that was a mistake or intentional. That artillery piece falls back, so intentional looks like. Another artillery piece there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Battlecopter does go down, does get trapped, and now in perfect range of the artillery piece. Takes out that capturing unit there. Right now, Olaf does 24,000, Eagle is 22, looks like. And also making play for the comp tower. It can be interrupted, but it'll be expensive to interrupt since the anti-air is in range. He doesn't see the anti-air, unless it was recently... No, there may have been spotted, but he may not have spotted this anti-air. Whoops. Got a recon, battlecopter, anti-air, and infantry. Overdrive's now available, which we'll never see. If you see overdrive, something gone very wrong or very right. Good strike there. Neo tank, infantry. Takes out the battlecopter there. Got a mech here. Infantry pushing down south as well. So got a nice train of units. Recon, battlecopter, tank, infantry. The power is starting to charge on up over. Lightning Strike's not going to be as quickly as the Winter Fury. I think as well as I said, the snow effect can be very, very good against the lightning strike. Just make sure the second turn is just a bit of a slower turn. Another Neo tank infantry. This turn of Winter Fury is possible, but there is also an argument to hold on the Winter Fury to help counteract the lightning strike, but he has immediately popped it. And something I want to fix one moment. I think the music volume needs to be a little bit louder. Oops. Yeah, that should be good. I don't know why. I think it's just a little bit too quiet beforehand. I think some soundtracks are pretty loud, some soundtracks are quite quiet. That could be the issue. Recon, anti-air, battlecopter, tank, infantry. Good strike there. Does not stop the capture just yet, but with 2 health remaining with 10 capture progress left, be a bit difficult. Takes out the battlecopter there, takes some rounds with the tank. Possible lightning strike this turn, but maybe a good idea to save until a turn without the snow. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Takes out that infantry unit there. Though he's starting to fall back, he's concerned about the lightning strike, which is a very, very valid concern. A single lightning strike generally wins a lot of games. So he's pulling back everything. Just going to give up a lot of ground. But of course, his opponent will have to close it down in. Got another Neo tank up here. Also got a bit of sound bug going. can never figure out why the sound player has so many issues like this. Recon pushing up north, ATR there, takes out that infantry unit, and as well that one. Lightning Strike is actually still technically not available, so I'm pulling back. I suppose if he's going to charge forward, he will definitely put the Lightning Strike to make him charge even more forward, but still. Olaf's turn. Wow, that sound bug's really hanging in this time. I have, when it comes to extensions, yeah, I only have the one active. I can never know what causes the sound effect issues. Let's just try that. Oops. And yeah, this sound player is really buggy. Either way, good strike there on the recon. Put some rounds of that infantry unit. Tank heading down south. Gets a good strike down there. He's afraid of the lightning strike over here, but he feels pretty confident that he can ignore or counteract the lightning strike over here. Good strike there. Get some good shots there. One way you can stop or blunt the lightning strike is by charging the way forward. Do as much damage to your opponent. But this Neo-Tank will likely go down. This Neo-Tank's out of Fog of War and will probably get an easy double tap there. Excuse me. Another Neo-Tank here. Infantry units. Well, he does have a reinforcing Neo-Tank. So Olaf could try just capture the HQ over here. Artillery pieces push way forward. Good strike there on that tank. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. And looks like Olaf's going to take a swipe at this HQ. He has one full health infantry unit back here, actually two. He's making some good headway towards HQ, clean up some of those other units there. Infantry unit creeping his way forward. He can always take time to capture this, some of these properties there to get some extra income. Lightning Strike is available. Oops. Does get trapped there, puts it around into the anti-air. Taking that out could also mean he's could be a bit more comfortable out more battlecopters in this area to help stabilize the region. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. We do now have another. Well, the Lightning Strike is still available. Could have been a good idea to pop a Winter Fury to slow down his opponent's advance in case he does go for Lightning Strike this turn. Not Winter Fury, just a Blizzard. Spot the Neo-Tank there, reposition the artillery piece. This Neo-Tank can move over, take a good first strike from the column tower. Decides not to. Lightning Strike. There's a Lightning Strike. Artillery piece gets a good strike there. A lot of good stuff there. Good spot in there as well. Takes out the Battlecopter. Gets a good strike there. Winter Fury is now available. Gets a lot of good strikes here. This tank, Neo-Tank, has not been spotted. Got 6 health. Nice little merge there. Eagle ends turn of 138 on the field. Olaf starts turn of 132. So Olaf is still in pretty good position with the Winter Fury here. Everything's going to be quite wounded. Plus 1 health mech around there. Finish off that tank. Starting to flip that property. Interrupt some of these captures even further. Good strike there. Anti-air tank or battlecopter infantry. Eagle starts turn of now 96. Olaf ended turn of 157. Does get some good strikes there. He has one full health infantry in the region to start capturing the HQ. You could stop capturing this property and go straight for the HQ capture as a possibility. He has nothing really to stop the battlecopter though. In fact, there's 2 battlecopters in this region and he has no anti-air nearby, so he decides to capture the property there. Trying to go with the income plate, so it's right now 27 versus 23,000. And that lightning strike really did focus on the map, so the left flank was given time to reorg. Goes for an APC here, that's interesting. I think the APC is meant for the black boat who has 2 fuel remaining. Wait, how much fuel does black boats consume per turn? Isn't it 2? Does that mean it will sink at the start of this turn? Or the start of the next turn? Because if its upkeep replaces at 0 fuel, it should automatically sink, right? Udo's on the tank there, allow the Neo tank to get a good strike there. He could have gone on top of the planes there, get +1 defense star there. Another tank down south. Recon moving around. Neo tank gets on top of the city there. Okay, black boats only consume 1 fuel per turn, not 2. Okay, that's good to know. APC is in range. I apologize for the sound bug. That was a couple more infantry units there in the black boat. Push way forward. Couldn't make opportunity to go for the con tower once again. Starting to rotate everything down around over here. Another battlecopter tank, artillery and infantry there. Good strike there on the recon. And now I do have both powers available. Eagle ends the turn of 149,000 versus Olaf's 172 starting. So Olaf's in a good position. I actually could take the opportunity to capture this property. This infantry unit could interrupt, but be fighting up against a mountain. A blizzard can stop it from interrupting. Of course, there's also the battlecopter as well. Of course, he doesn't have... no, the recon will provide vision of that. The number of battlecopters over here, starting to creep his way forward. Now Olaf has brought out a full bomber. There is a decent amount of anti-air over here, so a bomber sent over here would be very effective. Takes out that battlecopter. And right now, Olaf has nothing to stop these Neo tanks. At least on that side of the map. Stops the capture of that column tower. Recon tank artillery piece. Olaf's turn. Gets the black boat reapplied there. Anti-air just strikes the infantry unit, knocking it out. Tank on infantry. Battlecopter gets a good strike there and there. And a very good number of battlecopters. He takes time to fire Wait, that was a full health battlecopter. No, I don't want to care about that driver update. He does sack a battlecopter there. Allowing the tank is a good strike there. Neo tank on Neo tank. I think he's going for the power charge, trying to pop a Winter Fury out. And that will also stop the, or reduce effectiveness of Lightning Drive. And there's the Winter Fury. While we're heading down south, Neo tank infantry recon. A lightning strike is now available. They saw that infantry unit there, as well as that one. And it looks like lightning strike will not be popped this turn. Going to get enough power charge this turn. Artillery piece in range of the Neo tank, but of course it's on 3-star property. But is that 7 health? Does get a good shot there. Did 5 points of damage. So actually a bit more than I expected. Takes out that Neo tank entirely. Starting to flip that property. And Eagle has resigned. My apologies about the sound bug. This is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. The sound bug, I'm getting fed up with this extension, even though I like this extension over the other one. The other one's more reliable, but just not as good. I can't, and my browser's crashing. Oh, there it goes. I don't know. Let's see, that was this one here. Oops. Not edit bookmark. And let's go on to this one here. There we go, and replay. Let's see how to make this look good. I think that's the best I can do. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, Android here with another Advance Wars by Web replay. It's on the south side as the Pink Cosmos Sonya. We got John Ra, I think. On the north side as the Yellow Comet Drake, we got Ito Star. Well, still butchered that name well enough. This is a Fog of War map. It's been interesting. There's a couple black coats in the field. Both players start with a captured column tower as well. This is a lab map. We got 2 bases, or 3 bases in the center, 2 are captured, and of course got infantry in the back line of the mountain that allows us to spot one of those bases. However, Sonya gets +1 additional vision Fog of War. She's actually not that great at Fog of War specialists because her reduced luck damage is horrible. But that +1 vision range makes it so she can just sit on, say, this mountain here and should be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she gets +1 vision range, so it should be able to reach out even farther. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she should be able to sit on this mountain here, or this mountain here, and see all 3 bases at once. So she does actually have some slight inherent advantage on this map. By the way, let's go ahead and get started. First, the early capturing game. You can see here, Sonya just sits on this top of the mountain, able to see all 3 bases at once, so don't need to move around. And I think if she sits on this mountain here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, she does not have vision of the airport. Ironically, this may be one of Sonya's better maps. So far, both players just built just infantry is 3 base, so you have to spend a lot of extra money on infantry. We do have an early T-copter, or a T-copter not being pulled up by Sonia. And Drake has now pulled out a tank. Only his air units have reduced 30 firepower. With 3 bases, it shouldn't be a too big an issue to skip the airport. We do have now a recon pulled up by Sonia. But Drake Battlecopter is still not uncommon, even though that's not super great. We've now got a tank here. And now got a Sonia tank and a recon. Tank, recon, and infantry. So I'm gonna capture this airport here, which is spotted by this black boat here. Got a handful of infantry units there. Tank and recon here, plus now a Sonia Battlecopter. Of course, there is a Sonia question mark, so we won't necessarily see her health. You can see there, strike was made. If you look, can't see it because I have that hit off the side of the screen. So you have to remember how much damage you're doing, which is actually going to make the spectating a little bit more difficult. Excuse me. Tank, infantry. Does get a good strike there. Doesn't finish off the infantry unit, but definitely severely interrupted it. The interface volume. There we go, that seems a little bit better. Coming now, there we go. It's a good strike over there. This capturing infantry units down to 2 health. That's a good strike over there. Tank pushing over the left side. We've got a Battlecopter in this region as well. Good number of Sonia tanks over here. We've got 2 Drake tanks, Drake Battlecopter, and this Drake tank here. And does get trapped on that tank there, and will allow her to get a first strike on that tank, which is very nice. Wait, is he not capturing this property? That had been a misclick there. That property is captured, and this is global, not live league, so not sure what went on there. I don't see any reason why not to start capturing up that city there. If you get a flip, that'd be great. Unless somehow Sonia's day-to-day also hides away how much capture progress is left. I don't think so. It's the case. Does go and boost the infantry unit with a land black boat. I'm pretty sure land ships do get bonused from the various terrain bonuses, such as urban terrain, the plains terrain, and the road terrain benefits. Nope, looks like the capture progress was made on that city. I think this good strike from onto the tank, and rolled a little bit higher luck, I believe. Does get a lot of good strikes over here. Starting to flip that property now, or just capture it. It's right now a despicable neutral property. Battlecopter down south, so Drake has full vision of this Battlecopter. Got anti-air over here. And we've got another Battlecopter in vision of this recon as well. Does get a good strike there. Takes out that infantry unit there. As well as that one. And we'll probably gun it down. Wait. This infantry unit should be pretty low. That may have been a miscalculation. I think the question mark health is threw him off a little bit there, because I'm pretty sure this thing's like down to 2 health right now. That was some good strikes there. Anti-air tank. It is one down to 1 health there, so this 5 health unit could have finished off. Lots of good strikes there. It takes a couple shots at that black bow there, and we almost have a counter break available. Counter break allows her defensive strikes have first strike, meaning she will go first on defense, which is very nice. It's actually a pretty good power. Additionally, she does also inherently plus 50% more firepower to her counterattacks as well, so not only her first strikes will go first, they will also have a significant amount of firepower, so you can be a bit more aggressive in a charge. Drake Tsunami is almost available right now, or it does have Tsunami available. Typhoon is almost available. Counter Break is almost available as well. Tank infantry. And of course, Sonya does have full vision here. This is, I actually used map for Sonya. It's sort of interesting. Of all the maps, is this one. And there's Counter Break. And the music difference, yeah, that's one reason why I don't like this music player. It's reliable, but it's not as good. So now the very loud super powered soundtrack is going. Huh, didn't finish off that infantry unit there. It's mostly at 1%. Tank, battlecopter forward, recon, infantry. Drake has right now 107 on the field. Sonya has 124. And effectively, Sonya, remember, has first strikes. So he has to be very careful. You see there that battlecopter got 1 point damage off. That was actually a bad idea. I'm pretty sure it's a full health tank, and that this tank is probably at 7 health right now. I have no idea what health everything is now. Now we've got the superpower. He may have done that to get his superpower going, doing 2 points of global damage to everything. Tank. It was at 7 health before the effect, so it was 4 health versus 4 health, but thanks to Counter Break, she struck first, doing some good damage there. Sonya's not a bad CO, other than the fact that her minus 9% luck damage when it comes to her day-to-day is the biggest problem with her. Everything else is probably pretty good CO. Of course, with the rain, Sonya does not have full vision of this region, so she only sees the 1 tank. The rain was actually useful there. Making pretty good advance there. Drake starts turn 119, Sonya ends turn 108. So it looks like Drake has a pretty nice advantage there. It's easier to get another counter break than it is to get another tsunami. This map is pretty large, so there is an argument to make for typhoons, or not typhoons, tsunamis as opposed to typhoons. I always get his power and superpower mixed up. healthy Captain up low in the field. Tanks pushing their way forward. Gets a good strike there. Takes out that tank. Tank, infantry. That tank probably has 1% health. It's a decent strike there. His problem as well. Thanks to Tsunami, he does not know what health all these units have. Do they have 8 or 10? The question of more health is now a bit of a problem. He can't say for. He has to assume everything's at 10 health, but it would be a nice boon if it's at 8 health. Oh, there's a Tsunami, so he has popped the Tsunami. Counter break is available. We're probably going to see a counter break this turn. Now she has basically map hacks. Pulls back those wounded tanks, push forward healthy tanks. She can be a very aggressive. Counter break can somewhat be a double turn. Tank, infantry, and of course a battle copter. Sonya ends the turn with 100 with 87,000 field. Drake has 116. It's the tsunamis and the typhoons that's really whittling her down. Gotta be a bit careful and pushing forward. Yep, yeah, the counterattack damage is being quite significant. Got tank, artillery. This tank's down to 1 health. Get some good hits there. Another battle copter pull on the field. Tank, infantry. Picks out that recon. Gets resupplied by a black boat. Very nice. Speaking of black boats, this black boat's 9 fuel remaining. These black boats actually about ready to sink on the land. Good strikes over here. Takes out the black boat there. Getting some pretty good strikes there. Takes out that 1 unit there. Battle cover push way forward. Finish off that tank there. Sonya still has a pretty good force over here, but she is losing the right side quite a bit. Possibly need to spawn around the tanks to help double tank to go over here. Well, that was that one. And looks like I got triple infantry into battle copter. Even throwing some rounds into the transport copter is probably down to 4 health. But Drake has quite a bit of tanks over here. It's starting to swing very much in his favor over this region. You got this... Oh, and another Tsunami there, just trying to whittle down his opponent. He's striking while the iron's hot. It's also possible another counter break next turn. And now these black bolts down 3 fuel. And a good number of these tanks are quite winnable. He has a good number of healthy tanks on the region, and Sonya does go ahead and resign. This is Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me 1 moment. Apologies, I'm back. Let's see now. That was this one here. And no, let's do this one here. And adjust the map side. I wonder, could it be the fact that I'm zoomed in like this would help to cause sound issues? We can give this a shot. It does make the stuff a little bit smaller. I'm curious, as well as I'm going to try the other sound player. I wonder if this will help with the issues. Refresh the page. Sorry, I'm just trying out different things. I want to figure out what causes the sound issues. So just a little bit of theory testing. There we go, that should be good. So, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the bottom right side is the Green Earth Drake, we got Aegis. Small on top left side is the Orange Star Kindle, we got Muji 6. This map is, of course, a fog of war map with a airport for both sides as well. We do now have also a port there to help refuel this free black boat both players starts out with. Comm towers in the corner as well. It's also easy to go left and right rather than up and down with this style map. You can see here, well, base goes up around this way, but this one has to go all the way around here or all the way around here. So this is like a strong side left and right and a weak side going up and down. Of course, the airport can go either direction. Early T-Cop deployed by Green, so a T-Cop and an opener by Drake. Drake does not gain any advantages for his transports. Unless it's naval transport, which in this map I think it's both players just have free movement range, go back and forth, no problem. Of course, this early recon here, maybe trying to go charge for a bit of harassment. Could interrupt the capture of the comm tower. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Recon here, infantry. You can see here, Orange Star is being hyper aggressive. Excuse me. Recon does get some good reconnaissance, able to interrupt this capture of the comm tower next turn. We've got a tank over here as well. And the interrupt should be very successful because there's nothing to stop it. And he does spot this infantry unit going down south, so not even other guy just start picking away at him. Does get the comm tower captured on up. Now the recon can start hitting that comm tower. But will he go for it? Yes, he will. He gets a great strike there, knocks down a half health, and can easily finish off the next turn, even for black boat repair. Tank moving up north to help provide some support. Another tank deployed on the field. Tank got a good number of tanks deployed on the field. 3 versus just 2 at the moment. You have a mech here. Maybe try and go next turn to infantry, some infantry mech and transport over there. He actually pulled back there, so that comm tower did in fact get captured. Tank and recon there. Mech and infantry there. Get some good strikes. Takes out that infantry unit. An infantry unit does get transported over there. Anti-air tank ram recon. There's a good strike there. Gets trapped there. Very nice. A lot of good shots on these infantry units there. Got a battlecopter. Drake's battlecopters, of course, have 30% less firepower. It gets reduced to 20% reduced firepower for one comm tower. And of course, Kindle does have good retaliation, able to really push off and onto terrains with the Urban Blight as well as her day-to-day passive. You can see here this Recon gets a good shot on this infantry unit there on top of the property, as this infantry unit there. Now she can get a unit on top of the property and really retaliate with a boosted strike for plus 4% firepower, such as a tank going over here onto this property. It does have a tank up here as well, so one of these tanks should be able to take out that Recon. Pretty sure a tank can take out a Recon, an 8 health Recon on top of the city. Maybe with a very high luck roll, this could be a bit of a luck roll. So if you can take that out, then this tank get on top of this property and really get a good strike on in. So this should be a pretty messy engagement down here, I believe. Finish off the infantry unit there. And size of machine gun for a little bit damage, but also lose himself in the process. So now this is guaranteed to take it out. And couldn't really push off of it. Thanks to this T-Copter, well-placed T-Copter prevented the boost strike from here onto this tank to make an easy one-shot. So this T-Copter was actually very well placed. Good strike there on the Recon. Try and flip this property. Flip one and one despicable neutral property are on the field. Tank, tank, tank. So Drake's going for a good number of tanks. Urban Blight has been cast, which is going to be good to wood it on this tank, as well as interrupt this capture. And interrupts this capture even further by one turn. Actually, it's by 2 turns now. A lot of good strikes there. Gains good damage, trying to capture that property. Trying to flip multiple properties, very nice. Battlecopter pushing them forward as well. We could see a tsunami next turn, but maybe not. Tank, tank, infantry. Did see a tsunami, so both players popped the power. A tsunami is relatively rare. It also does whittle down a lot of fuels. Drake has a good number of tanks this region, so this little bit whittled down is quite nice. Of course, there's no rain, so his opponent's vision is still normal. Does a bit of a join and capture there to help reduce the capture progress. And right now, Drake is making great headway on the right side of the map. Tank, tank, infantry. A lot of good targets here. This Intier could receive a massive firepower from Boosted Strike. But there's so many things in this region, I don't know if it's going to go well. Drake ends the turn for 89 or 98,000 in the field. Kindle starts the turn for 71, so she's not doing all too great at the moment. Gets a Boosted Strike onto that tank. Bit of resupply there. Tanks are falling back now. Okay, tank infantry, both players just happy just building tanks. Mech gets a good strike there. Of course, the tank will fall back, and then perhaps another tank get on top of it to retaliate pretty severely against that mech. Takes out that unit there. We'll probably interrupt the capture. And 16 capture progress remaining, so that thing is not going to be captured anytime soon. We don't really have to focus it down. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, infantry. Get a booster strike there on the mech with the helicopter, the battlecopter. Black boat going to get some repairs and primarily refueling there. Battlecopter, recon, artillery, and infantry. Infantry, anti-air, battlecopter, infantry. Kindle is starting to clean up there. These battlecopters are quite low in fuel. You can always just merge them together to get their combined fuel. And Kindle does have a good brigade of tanks coming down south. Does get a good strike there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, infantry. Good strikes there. Does take out that tank. And do now have an Urban Blight available. Drake has just a massive number of tanks down south. Kindle's going to have trouble breaking through that. An Urban Blight could help her, give her a little bit of extra leverage, actually. Because an Urban Blight will wound this tank there, allowing her to take it out a bit more easily, then get an 80% additional booster strike on another nearby tank, allowing her to get another good opportunity to surround another tank. So I think an Urban Blight is what she needs down over here. There's also, of course, this property, the comm tower, which could be used for a boost strike, but it would be difficult to reach there. Plus, she only has so many things in this region, so let's see how well this Urban Blight does. Right now, Drake has 139,000. Kindle will start to turn to 103. Capture the property first. Does merge the battlecopter, still low in fuel. Pops Urban Blight. Significantly winning this tank. She has a decent number of tanks to work with to leverage. 2 health, so maybe the 4 health tank can finish that one off. Now she can get a massive 80% boost strike from this city. Allows a 1-shot of 9 health tank. On this tank to get a good strike there. Finish off the infantry unit there. And this 4 health infantry unit could have followed back in order to get a good strike there on that 7-4 health tank. And just like that, Drake's tank force here got decimated due to his Urban Blight just because of the wounding that unit on top of the city and then use the city to project off of it. Kindle's power, her mechanics are weird, but yet highly effective. I think she's just underestimated in general, but we do now have a Neo tank deployed on the background. Does find the 1 health infantry unit there. Plus, also just a great way to consume additional opponents' funds because they're going to build a whole group of units at the bases. So, what a great way to drain off a little bit of funds there. And since this also does 3 points of damage, means you don't get a full heal necessarily. Oh, push forward, didn't have any scouting, so maybe it would have a good idea to scout with a 4 health tank, so it's a bit more expendable. Kendall has a massive force down south. That's probably still despicably neutral. Recon tank. That was a good strike there. Takes out that tank there. Recon takes a strike. Couple good hits there. Try and flip this property. And here, tank and infantry. Neo tank is a good strike over there. We do, of course, have a Typhoon almost available. Nope, does get trapped there. Typhoon's now available. Recon, Neo tank infantry. So here comes Typhoon. There's no real reason not to pop it right now. Takes out the battle copter there. Urban Blight's once again available. A lot of these tanks are getting pretty wounded. Good strike there, but problem is she can retaliate pretty bad. No, not so much. Though, actually, the battle copter on top of the city can get a really good strike. And Urban Blight may be possible. She could save for High Society, but that's unlikely. But it's not a bad superpower, honestly. It's the recon there. And here comes Urban Blight, getting a little bit of power charge before she popped it. Here comes Battlecopter, gets a massive shot there. That one effectively goes down, takes out the interior while at it as well. Black Boat heading down south. The Battlecopters can fall back, get refueled by the Black Boat. Right now, Kindle needs to address the right flank. There's a lot of dangerous stuff there, and there's no anti-air to point out up there as well. Another Neo tank, mech infantry. Lots of good strikes there. Kindle's running out of steam on both flanks, it seems like. Great shots there. Almost takes a Neo tank. She has another Neo tank there. Drake ends the turn with 143,000 in the field. Kindle starts the turn with 81, so she's pretty far behind at the moment. Good strike there. Battlecopter infantry, tank infantry. Lots of good strikes over here. And right now, Drake has a massive number of tanks. Of course, a couple anti-airs. Got a Neo tank course back here. And he has pretty good field control as well. So it's heavily going in favor of Drake right now. Goes for a T-copter as well. Does get trapped on the infantry unit. Does retaliate against the infantry unit there for existing. Kindle's turn right now. She's pretty close to another Urban Blight. Cap Projects is 13. There's good shots on all those units there. Artillery piece pushed back forward. That's of course one health Neo tank. And looks like she does go ahead and resign now. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And that shall do it for me tonight. I'm going to take time. I feel like not being zoomed in fixed a lot of audio issues for some odd reason. So I may play around with my stream settings in order to, recording settings to address this. This